And we are live. Welcome to the second episode of the Degen Report. My name is Mitch. The other co-host is Tyler, and today we brought a OG that has been a part of the Cardano NFT community since the very beginning. He knows a bunch. Some people might even call him a CNFT Connoisseur. Welcome the man, the myth, the legend, CNFT Connoisseur.
What an intro. Hello guys, pleasure to be here. Yeah, looking forward to it. Don't know what more I have to say.
Before we get into it, can you tell us some of the things about you?
Yeah, sure. So you said I'm here from the very start, which is sadly not correct. I would have loved to have minted spacebuds. I didn't. I joined, well, soon it's going to be a year, like very beginning of September. Joined the space back in the days when ADA was at $3. Good times. And yeah, just started to basically have a Twitter account where I was anonymous and just used it to check out what's happening. Started to tweet about my first purchases, and suddenly people liked what I tweeted, and I somehow got what some would call an influencer. Just got a following. Yeah. And yeah, one day later I'm sitting here. I have my own project, Onboard NFT. I have made thousands of friends, and I spend way too much time in the scene.
Yep.
But
Yep.
that's what we all have in common, I guess.
Yep. So I think you took off a month last month, like just to kind of sit back, because I think both you and I did the same thing where we dumped all of our money, all of our time into it. So good on both of us to do that, man.
To do what? Break?
Yes, to take a break, because it's so easy to not take a break when you've made that following and just keep on pumping out
Well,
garbage, doing engagement tweets day after day that you don't give a
yeah.
shit about. Yeah, so
Yeah, well,
good
the
on
thing is,
you, man.
it was kind of a forced break, right? It wasn't like I took a break from Twitter. It was just like I didn't have time for my personal Twitter account anymore because all of my energy was put into Onboard, and I just didn't have time to use my personal account anymore. I literally just logged on there and retweeted stuff from Onboard and logged out again. But
Nice, man.
it was quite the opposite of a break. It was way more stressful um, than usually. But one funny thing I could mention here is I recently checked the analytics of my Twitter account and from a personal account, and last November I made 970 tweets in 1 month.
Jesus Christ.
That's 30 a day, and it resulted in well over 1 million impressions.
Jesus
And in
Christ.
July, I barely made 100 and got
Nice.
like 50k impressions. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So there's kind of a reason why you have that huge following, and you would think that that's because you pumped out quantity over quality, or
no. Obviously, I won't say my tweets were in quality. No, but like those 970 tweets, those are tweets and reply tweets, right? So you
Yeah.
engaging with others.
Yep.
And well, November was like peak hype for NFT,
Yeah.
right? And if you put out 970 tweets and replies during the peak month of the NFT hype, obviously you will be seen. Like the statistics said, like over 100,000 people visited my profile that month.
That's
So yeah,
that's That's insane. So you are saying that the best way to kind of become a CNFT influencer is just to be super active?
Exactly. Be super
Yeah.
active, not just with your own tweets, but with engaging with others.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
obviously, if you tweet, your followers will always see it, like it, and stuff. But if you engage with others, you kind of spread your arms, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
Reach more people, I guess. Like, I'm not the Twitter algorithm guru, but that's just what
But
I
I
assume.
mean, you kind of were back in November.
Exactly. And again, in July, I had like barely 100 tweets, and my profile was visited maybe 3,000 times instead of the 110,000 times. So, yeah, speaks for itself, right?
Yeah.
Well, anyways, we'll get off of that topic.
Yeah.
So let's talk a bit about what's going on in the current CNFT market. So, Con, have you minted anything recently?
Yeah. So, yesterday and the day before, I minted Fat Buddies Pets. That was actually the
Yes,
last thing I
yes.
minted. Minted those. Before that, last week, or was it the weekend before? No, it's already 2 weeks ago. I don't know. Mallards, anyway, whenever that was.
Yeah,
I minted,
which blew up.
yeah, I minted 4 of those. Yeah, 4.
And you've had some
And
good
before
pulls
that,
too, right?
honestly, I can't. No, I bought those.
Oh, okay. Because I saw on your Twitter
So,
you were
the
posting
stuff,
some that you had, and I was like, this is the craziest pulls I've ever seen.
yeah. The one I bought with the ape suit and
Mm-hmm.
fire crown, it's like top, I don't know, rarity, but I bought that one. The wings as
Jesus.
well, and yeah, the others as well. The ones I minted were more or less floor, but yeah,
Yeah. Sounds about like
so
my
I had to
minting
buy
luck. I
more.
don't think I've ever minted anything inside the top like 500 for anything.
Yep, same.
I
But
minted 101 once from False Idols.
Wow. For real? That's awesome.
Jesus, man.
I followed False Idols since like
See,
their
that's
Discord launched, and then I missed their mint because like I went like to the grocery store or something, and I got back and it was sold out, and I messed up the UTC to like my time conversion.
The time
That
zone.
happens. I think I did that to Voyage as well. I think I missed the whitelist mint by accident because I messed up the UTC to EST conversion again. Like I do it all the time. I do it all the time. It's so annoying.
Nah, that was crazy. That meant I was sitting here working in my 9 to 5. On the left, I had an onboard team call, and at the same time, I was minting. So I sent
of
through the
course.
ADA. Few minutes later, I checked my wallet and I saw the 101 in there, and I was like, all right,
Easy.
Easy.
Fucking
no
easy.
9 to 5
I
anymore
do
for the
this
day.
every
From my 9
day.
to 5 retiring.
Yeah.
So we also went over to our the Degen Report Twitter, and we asked the community which questions they'd have for you. So Tyler, can you take those?
Yeah, exactly. I can do that. Let's see. So we have, I think, 5 questions in total. The first one is someone wanted you to describe the process for picking and vetting artists for onboarding. What's the long-term vision for your project?
All right. So, first of all, I'm going to talk just a slight bit about Onboard so that people
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm even talking about. Onboard NFT is the project I founded together with Cardano Salad, Joshua Squasra, our artist, Knackfish, who you know from Tavern Squad, as well as Jared, who you also know from Tavern Squad. And our aim is to onboard real-life artists to the Cardano blockchain by giving them basically a full-on onboarding solution. So we pay for example, softwares or iPads or marketing videos, whatever they may need to really have a kickstart on the blockchain. We provide them with a community, which is our community, because our community gets to buy their art first. And Yeah, basically they don't need to have any knowledge of NFTs, blockchain. They don't need to have any contacts in the real life art scene. They don't need to have a big name, nothing. They just need to have good art. Get in touch with us. We get in touch with them, and we do the rest for them. They just have to send us their art, and that's it. And we will introduce them to the blockchain, not only by selling their art, because we want them to actually onboard. So we show them what is Cardano, how do NFTs work, what does it mean that you now have a community here, what is Discord, how does marketing work? Yeah. And the question I think was, how do we choose the artist?
So what
Sorry.
goes what
Yes,
goes into like
yes.
vetting like different artists that people want you to onboard or that want
Yeah,
to onboard
yeah.
with you guys?
So first of all, what's important for us is to know that art is obviously subjective, right? We can't only go out and say, all right, which art do we like personally? And because others may not like it, others may like other stuff more. So what we tend to look for is uniqueness. That's our main focus point. What is unique? What is not known on the blockchain as of right now? Yeah, and that's basically what's the most important aspect. So we just look for art or maybe even artists that we know already and reach out to them and then go from there. So yeah, uniqueness is the main point, because whether we like that uniqueness or not, there will be people that like it. That's how art works.
Right.
Yeah.
And with the first artist you did pick, so that type of art, that is more caricature, or however you say it.
So you mean the FURBLEs, our
Yes.
Genesis connection? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
What made you pick that as your first artist, and what artist is that?
All right, so that's Joshua Squashwa, and as I mentioned before, he's not only an artist for us, he's also a co-founder, so one of the key pillars of Onboard NFT. And how we met him is quite a funny story, which I think kind of describes what Onboard is about. So Cardano Salad was walking through Oxford, and on the street he saw someone selling water paintings on the street. And that was Joshua Squashwa. He didn't know him before. But when Salad looked at those water paintings, he thought of NFTs. They looked like NFTs, colorful, they stood out. So he just talked to him, said, hey, look, we kind of have that idea of a project, NFT project, and you seems like you'd be perfectly fitting because your art is so unique. And yeah, had a few calls and we threw some ideas out, some characters, base characters, and he just went crazy on them, did like the craziest trades, craziest characters. And you still, I think, even though it's obviously drawn on an iPad, I think you still see, not watercolors, but you still see the playfulness in the art, in the FURBLEs itself, like the backgrounds especially. Yeah, and I think even our Genesis collection kind of shows how unique we aim to be, and we're really super happy to have met that random artist on the street.
Yeah, man. See, it's so funny because that is usually what happens, and then it just evolves and evolves from there.
Exactly.
So the next question is, which we kind of know is the answer to, but can you grow a beard that is as insane as your Degen's beard? And if so, can we see a picture?
How do we do this? Can I send you a picture on Twitter? Or
Yes. Then what I can do is I can put it up, but you can also just like show us on your phone.
ooh, I'll try that. I'll have to find it. Sorry, I'm not texting someone. I'm just trying to find the picture on my phone.
No
worries,
man.
Could have
Tie it.
prepared it before, right? I'm such a
Well, we are a professional podcast.
I found.
No, we are not. Like, we did so much like 5 minutes before the podcast. but damn it, we will make it look so professional.
That's right.
Shit.
Oh, I hope everyone knows my profile picture. The Degen
Which
one.
we will also show.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm showing it to the camera. I'm hoping you can see it. This
Oh
was
my
me.
Oh, it's such a good beard.
Like 2 years ago.
Such a good beard.
What a alpha male.
No, tell me again. Does this look like my Degen?
Yeah,
Yes, it does.
It does.
Yeah,
That's
Alright.
a perfect profile
This
picture.
picture was the reason. This picture was the reason I fell in love with the long beard Degen,
Yeah.
which
But it
was
never
sneak
made it.
peeked before Degen Quick Club launched. And before they launched, I DM'd them. Back then, I didn't know who was behind DCC. I didn't know Jack. I DM'd them saying, "Look, whatever it may take, I will need to buy that one."
Yeah.
And then the collection launched, and I was filtering the trades, and I couldn't find that fucking beard. So I DM'd them saying, "Where is that beard?" And yeah, they said, "Well, sorry, didn't make the cut."
That sucks, man.
That sucks.
That sucks. My favorite Degen crypto trade is easily the Mohawk. It's like, I don't know if it's showing, but that Mohawk there is my
Yeah,
favorite
yeah, yeah.
Degen in the entire collection. Not because he's gold, not because he's got like crazy tattoos, but just because the purple Mohawk with the pink background with the fucking biker coat is so fucking clean.
It's such a sick one, and also
It's
a
so clean.
iconic one. Like
Yeah.
that one
Yeah.
belongs to Stutter. That's it.
During
That's
the meme wars when we were going off
Yeah.
against the goats and the Kongs, I tried so hard to keep up with everybody else, but it was
I would-
impossible because the goats are insane, and then Kongs were like so close to them, where here I'm just like posting shitty memes where I like photoshopped it in 5 minutes, and I'm like, yes, this is perfect.
Yeah.
But they're doing like 15-minute memes. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
We may have lost that, but third place is good.
That's right. I was gonna say I've hopped on.
By the way, when was that? Like January, February?
March? Was it
March.
March?
Yeah, I think it sounds like it was like around like March. I would say March. Yeah. Because I can remember being on like
Yeah,
random Discord calls with Stutter, and he wouldn't say anything for like 10 or 15 minutes. I'd be like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm working on this." He's like, "I'm working on memes. I'm working so hard." Like he would.
I'm
I could
concentrating.
just see him, like,
Shut
I
up,
could hear
shut
him, like,
up.
clicking and moving around like he was trying so hard. Good times.
They were
That-
awesome though. They were
was a good
awesome.
time.
Gotta
That
say.
that kind of became a day job for a bit, where like maybe for a week I did an Uber, but that's because I was just making DCC memes to
Oh.
keep up. Yeah, you gotta do
That's awesome.
what you gotta do, man.
Look, man, war has no rules.
That's right. That's right.
So Tyler, you can ask the third.
Yeah, I was about to say we need to start getting
Question.
through these questions. We're gonna be talking until like 1 a.m. for you, Yannick. But anyways,
That's fine.
So question
That's
number
fine.
No.
question number 3 from Twitter.
Not at all. Don't worry.
Okay.
We can talk.
All right, perfect. Question number 3 from Twitter is a Swiss watch really the pinnacle of mechanical operation?
It's the pinnacle of being cool and showing off. But
Because Swiss people know how to be cool.
we just know how to show off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, fun thing is, my parents both just bought one because they sold the house. I honestly don't get the fuss about watches.
I-
I said it. I'm a Swiss guy. I don't get the fuss about watches. I don't have it here, but the one watch I have is made out of wood.
Nice.
Cost a few
Which
bucks, and
I saw
which
that on your Twitter.
which I kind of think is better.
yeah,
I saw it on your
recently
Twitter, yeah, because
posted,
somebody like zoomed in and was like, "I love your watch," and you were talking about your watch. Yeah, I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah, Oxy.
Yeah.
And look,
Yeah.
even Oxy, Mr. Fashion himself, said it looks nice. So
That's right.
yeah, no watches. I honestly, I mean, yeah, I do like the look of a Rolex, but would I spend 10K on it just to have?
No.
I think
I
think I would buy one.
honestly, I prefer my wooden watch.
Right. Yeah, I think I'd buy a Rolex
Yeah.
just because like they like appreciate in value. Like so, like if you just have like
Yeah,
if you just have like 10
actually,
grand
so
cash, you should just buy one because like at least you're not like losing money to inflation, so you might as well buy one.
yeah, it's one of the best investments at the moment. Like if you get to buy one, which you have to be lucky, as soon as you leave the store, you can sell it for 10-20% more,
Right.
like
Yeah.
instantly.
But
Um,
you could also do that with Cardano NFTs and then like double it.
Yeah, the only thing is with
Sometimes.
watches, it's guaranteed that
Yeah.
they go up.
The watch can't. The watch
Wait
can't
a
rug
second.
The watch can't rug
You aren't saying my NFT is all 300 of them. They won't just keep on going up and up and up. The fuck?
Yeah, who knows? Well, imagine buying a expensive watch, walking out of the store, turning around, and they're tearing the store down. They're rugging.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
That's funny.
Which I mean, they could do, but that doesn't make much sense because the overhead's much bigger, which kind of gets us into our next question. How has the onboard experience and being a co-founder been, and what are you the most excited about the future of Onboard?
honestly, it's been a craziest time of my life. Like, it's most stressful, but most amazing time. If someone told me 1 year ago where I would be today with an NFT project, it's hard to describe. Even when we were in the works of building up to launch, even like 1 week prior to launch, even on the day of launch, I couldn't realize what was going on. Are we actually gonna sell NFTs here? Are we actually doing this? Yeah, but it's absolutely crazy, and especially with the team we have, with Salad, Luca, Josh, just such amazing guys. I would have never started a project alone, never. First of all, because I don't have the time for it, and because it would have been too much for me. But with these guys, it's such a pleasure to work with. Like, we had a call before we were recording this podcast. We just had another call. Yeah, we're basically talking daily about what we're doing, and yeah, I'm loving it, even though it's literally taking every minute of my free time somehow.
So I kind of completely get that, because although I do love this podcast, holy shit, there's so much time that you have to put into editing and making
Yeah.
the thumbnails and making the tweets about it. Like,
And you wouldn't think about it, right? Before.
yeah,
You thought, oh, well, we have a podcast, and yeah, I'll do the editing. And then you're sitting and edit, and you realize how big the
Yeah.
workload is.
but
And others don't see it even.
But I am so thankful for Big T Tyler, because like, he's doing all of the calendar, getting guests, which we are going to be bringing in a bunch of big people with big names, whether that they be owners of projects or whatever, which I don't think I'd be able to do all of that without him. So we completely get where you are coming from.
Yeah, and everyone has his role, right?
Yeah.
Tyler does
So
this, you do that. That's so important.
what exactly is your role for Onboard?
My role is basically socials,
Yeah.
handling those. And other than that, we kinda often do the same. Like, all right, you can say Salad is the lead liaison, I think he calls himself. Like, he's the guy who first gets in contact with the artist, just like Tyler gets in contact with the guest you have on the podcast. But from there on, like, we're in a group chat with the artist, we
Yep.
have all the calls together. So yeah, that's I would say I'm more on the front end of the project.
Yeah.
That's my role. Uh, yeah. And the second part of the question was, I think, what am I most excited about in the
Yes.
near future of Onboard? All right, so I hope I can show this. Our first artist, our next artist that we're gonna onboard is a guy called Sasha Knežević. He's an artist from Vienna. He's a professional artist. He has a studio there. And not only are we gonna bring his art to the blockchain, I used the possibility that I'm in touch with him to actually get a piece commissioned for myself.
Nice.
Here it is.
Oh, that's so sick.
That's pretty clean.
Can
That is
you
so
see that?
clean.
Yeah,
Blah.
Not,
yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
sick.
It's tough
That's
to show.
very, very clean. So
Yeah.
so is the piece that he's going to do for Onboard similar to that?
No, something else. Something
Tyler,
completely
you're behind. You gotta
different.
go. You gotta
So
go
are
to their
we-
Discord and watch the video. It's super sick.
No, this is a podcast where we make it where people come here. So we ask them the questions. We don't send people over there. They send people over here. This is a one-sided relationship, Tyler.
Okay, got you.
No,
Got you.
no, but for people that they haven't gone over there, which we'll make sure they do go over there. So are we thinking like something like the animals that we
No.
saw before?
No,
Or-
it's something completely different. It's more graffiti style.
Yeah,
The series is called Game Over. The Game Over series, and it's about
Nice.
there are skulls there, and yeah, it's. I sadly have to say, do watch the videos, and you will
Yep.
see what it is about. We also have a YouTube channel. It's linked in our latest announcement on Discord, I think.
which we
Um,
will also put down below in the description as
perfect.
well.
But
to
listen
both
to
their
the whole
Twitter.
podcast first. That's the rule. They have to listen
Yes.
to the podcast first, and only then check out the videos.
Then
Because-
you are allowed to.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, why I'm excited about this, because he's such a unique and talented artist. Again, it means something to have an art gallery in Vienna, in the heart of Vienna, and to live off of that. Fun fact, he was previously a pro basketballer and a professional model in New York, so he's been
Man, he does
around and yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So it's yeah, pretty big deal to get to have his art on the Cardano blockchain. This is actually this piece I've just shown you. It's actually like my most expensive purchase in years. Not only
shit.
in art, for art, but in general. But yeah.
So now we need to know how much was it?
Should I say it? Should I say it?
So is it in the thousands, 10,000s?
No, it's
hundreds?
not in the 10,000s. It's not in the
So-
10,000s. It's wait. I'll calculate it to ADA.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah. Calculated data.
In
it'll make it seem a bit better because we're all degens. So
It's 9,000 something ADA.
damn, that's not bad. The other day I sold something for 2,000 and that blew my mind.
Yeah. It's crazy, right? In the NFT scene, we always hear like, yeah, 1,000 ADA, 2,000 ADA, 500 ADA, and you never really think of how much it really is
Yeah.
in money, and then you convert it in your head into your currency, and you're like, damn,
Jesus
it's a
Christ.
picture.
I'm fucking rich. Like with that, so I could complete my whole like podcast setup. But will I take that money out?
Never.
Fuck no. Fuck no.
Yeah.
Fuck no. Because I need to buy more pictures of ducks and more pictures of monkeys. Duh.
Exactly.
Until we're either rich or all equally
Or-
broke.
Homeless. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that was good. That was good. Thank you for explaining the artist coming on and everything. That was super helpful. I don't even really. I feel like we just addressed number 5, Mitch. What do you think? Like the last one, I feel like we just talked about Onboard.
Yeah.
Like, the most.
So the fifth question was what made you pick Onboard because we bet that like multiple people have DM'd you, but it's like mostly because you believe in the people and you believe in the idea and the way it's kind of like using a multiple artists and bringing in
Exactly. So for me, as you already said, I got approached multiple times for founding a project, creating a project, and I never wanted to have my own project, and I always even said that to people. But when Salad reached out to me with his idea, first of all because it's him and we were best friends already, and and because the idea actually was more than just about selling collectibles, it was about actually changing something. Yeah, that's when I said, all right, you know what? I always said I wouldn't create my own project, but I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, and I think one thing to me that makes like Onboard so unique is that it bridges the gap between like the real world and like Cardano, because I feel like a lot of projects like you could have like some crazy cool utility, but most of the time it only involves like the Cardano space already. So unless you're already in the space, like you're not really going to utilize the utility unless you know like your way around the space to begin with. So I think that's something that makes Onboard like super unique, is that like you kind of bridge that gap between like outside of the space and then Cardano itself.
Yeah, and there's gonna be way more in that regard in the future.
Leaks.
Yeah.
Leaks. So kind of going off of that. So on the right side of the YouTube channel, this YouTube video, you will see that we are in fact giving away a FURBLE. Not just any FURBLE, a super clean FURBLE with fire and a radio and a Superman suit. It's fucking insane. But the way that you can get this maybe is you need to follow our YouTube channel, you need to like this video, and you also need to follow both us and also the Onboard Twitter also. And you also need to comment banana in both the YouTube and also the Twitter.
Stutter's trying to make it
Twitter
to where
and
Stutter's trying to make it to
instructions for that.
yeah. Stutter's trying to make it to where no one can do it, so he gets to keep it. Because I sent him when you sent it to me. I showed it to Stutter, and Stutter was like, "Can we keep it?" And I was like, "No." So Stutter just,
Please,
we'll put directions in a tweet on how to enter for the giveaway. That'll be more helpful than what we just said. We'll put directions in a tweet.
Yeah, but this is us saying that yes, we are giving it away, but you will have to comment banana. But But anyways, guys, let's get into the normal questions for everybody.
Okay. Yeah,
Tyler?
take it away. Okay. All right. So starting off, how do you feel like living in Switzerland is different from living anywhere else? Like, is there anything that's like super like unique about living in Switzerland, or do you think it's kind of like average? Like, what are your thoughts? Or have you always lived in Switzerland? I don't know. I don't know if you've always lived there or not.
Yeah, I have always lived in Switzerland. Obviously, I've been in other countries as well, traveled around other parts of the world, but always wanted to come back to Switzerland, to be honest. Why exactly? Well, let's say you live in Zurich. It's like this huge city, at least for us. Within an hour, you're in the Alps, 2,000-3,000 meters above everyone else. And yeah, I think that mixture of cities, or let's say more populated places, and the mountains is just basically from wherever you are in Switzerland. If you look out of the window, you somewhere see the Alps. And I mean, does it get better?
So I kind of envy that because currently I live in Dallas and it is so flat. Like
Yeah.
this is basically Kansas. Like when you think of Kansas, you think of like sunflowers, cornfields, but we don't even have any of those. So it's just like super flat, super boring. So I completely get where you are coming from. So hopefully, maybe when I finally move out of my parents' basement, I might move over to Switzerland or Denver
Please
or
do. I
something
can
like
highly
that.
recommend it. If you
Yeah.
like nature, Switzerland is the place to be.
Well, see, because I live in Texas, I don't know what nature is because it's 200 degrees over here.
All right. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to live there, honestly.
Yeah, no. But I'm guessing it's very cold where you are.
Actually, no. In the summer, it's hot. In the summer, it's like today we had 32 degrees Celsius. I don't know what it is
I think that's
in
close to like
American.
90. I think it's
Here,
close
I
to
am on it.
90 for us, which is pretty hot.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually.
No,
Yeah. So
that is cold for Texas.
Well, yeah. So like, yeah.
That
yeah, but for us,
that
like
is a very cold summer in Texas.
no, in the summer when it gets this hot, or like up to even 35 degrees, it was last week. But in the winter, yeah, we often have like -10, -15 degrees Celsius.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually went to university in the
That's
mountains.
that's about 15.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to university in the mountains like where I am in North Carolina, and it's like it was so much better than living where I live now in like the city, like close to like the capital, like the mountains. It was
Yeah.
so dope. It was like the scenery was so nice, the nature, and then and it was like nice. Like in
Yeah.
the summertime, it was like hot, but it wasn't like as hot because it was like kind of windy because you're up so high.
You can still go
Yeah,
outside,
you can still go
right?
outside, but like down here,
Yeah.
it's just like it's so hot. Like you don't even want to leave your house. It's so hot.
You kind of need both though. Like you need nature, but you also need the city.
Yeah.
Like where I currently live is a very metropolitan area because it's like between two big Texas cities, being Dallas and Fort Worth. So the fact I live in the middle of it means like everything near me, I have everything. Which because I did live in nature when I did go to college, that part was beautiful. But I was in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. so it's like you kind of need a place where you have both of those. Because if you lack one of them, that will make it not feel nearly as good as when you have both
Well,
combined.
the good thing about Switzerland is you don't really have to worry about that because, like within 3 hours, you drove through the whole country. like from one end to the other.
With Texas, it takes 17 hours to go from the east side of Texas to the west.
Yeah, it's like the white. I think
No, it's
I think
literally
it's the widest state in the U.S. Like as far as like from like the east to the western end. Like it's like it takes you like literally a whole day to drive from one side to the other. It's so long.
what the.
Wait, Stud, are you looking up how long?
You get across half of Europe within 17 hours.
So it said it takes between 12 to 14 hours from one side to the other. And also where I'm at, there's no beaches. So it's like...
It's not even worth it.
You actually live nowhere. It's like...
See, I live somewhere because I'm between two big cities. So it's like 30 minutes between one big city and 30 minutes between another big city, which is amazing for Uber. But there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do but drink and then get fat. But I guess that's the American dream.
That's right.
American way of living. Nice.
Man, it's great being an American. Holy shit. So this next question dips back into crypto. But compared to the work that you did do for Degen Crypto, how is the work you are doing for Onboard now different than that?
Well, for the Degen Crypto Club, the only thing, quote unquote, I did was tweet and announce stuff that the founder, Jack, gave me, right? I didn't actually create or build something. The only thing I was liable for is tweeted stuff and talk to the community. And here it's not only am I the one who tweets it, but I'm also involved in actually building it, having the idea at the start all the way until it's announced or whatever. So yeah, that's the huge difference.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, not having to worry about what to build, what to come up with was the good thing, I guess, with Degen Crypto Club. If you want, so I only had to tweet. I didn't have to come up with stuff. And here it's, yeah, the actual work.
So would you say that you were more of a face of it than like the actual like co-owner, like building
For Onboard?
for Degen?
For Degen Crypto Club. Yeah. I was more the face of it. Yeah, I had nothing to do with actually doing or building stuff. Like obviously Jack and me were constantly talking about what to do or getting ideas to one another, but he was the one who did all the things.
Nice, man.
I was only the face of it. I didn't had anything else to do. I mean, I also only joined in December, I think, the team. And I mean, DCC started in October.
Yeah.
So.
But so I joined back in I think November, maybe October, sometime then, something near then. But then I always kind of like saw you as the face of it. So
yeah.
That's why I said it. Like, kind of in a way how people that are into universe might see me and be like, oh, that's the universe guy.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I always saw you and I'm like, oh, that's Mr. DCC himself.
Yeah, I was even before I got the role as community manager, I was like #1 fan, right? I was pretty much the first one to change my profile picture from a clay to a
That's big.
Degen Crypto Club.
That's big, man.
Yeah, and it was that's also another funny story. They minted at like 9 p.m. my time, right? Pretty normal. And I was searching for my perfect Degen, and I was searching. And when I finally found it and bought it, my profile picture, it was 4:30 in the morning. So I literally spent
that is
5,
the best
6
time.
hours. Yeah, I've literally spent 5-6 hours refreshing CNFT.io back then, and to come up with to finally find that tattooed degen and bought it, and yeah, then that degen basically became me, and I became that degen.
That's sick.
And to me, whenever I think about you, I think about that
Oh,
profile.
same.
Like
Yeah.
whether it's a FURBLE or whether it's like anything, I always think of that profile.
Yeah, and that's actually what you just said. I think people underestimate what profile pictures like these, or NFTs like these,
Yeah.
I'd better say, actually can make for you or bring you if you use them right. Like, for example, Oxy. Oxy is the Mecca, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he built his personality on that. He built his whole existence in the space on that Mecca. And then he came up with his own project, which was perfect. And yeah, for me, it's the same. Like that degen, that's me. As you said, no matter what profile picture I might have in any Discord, if you see my name or think of me, you think of that degen.
Yep.
And that's why I switched back to it. And I'm now that with the long beard, and I'm never gonna change it back. Like that's me.
Aww.
That's yeah.
With
Well, I have a 101 degen. Like
yeah, the one of one. With me, there's two I flip back and forth from. So you see that green guy in the corner. Sometimes I may
Yeah.
be him, but sometimes I may be the
Yeah.
other green
Yeah,
guy.
the one with
but
the
they're
beanie. I
the
always think
exact
of you
same.
as the one with the beanie.
So it's like
the beam.
yeah. Which
Beanie.
which I mean, like I also kind of developed a thing for the guys with the donuts,
Yeah.
and then I pushed that for a bit, which I mean I'm doing even now. But now whenever people like see a balding dude, and that they are also into CNFTs, my goal is to make them like think about universe.
Yeah.
But so every time I look at Big T, I think of my beautiful powdered donut.
Don't make fun of my hair. That's why I gotta wear the hat.
Big T is a
Ooh.
beautiful
Thank
powdered
you. Thank
donut,
you.
though.
It's genetic. She can't fight it.
You see, which is a big reason why I'm like growing it all out, is because I know one day I'll look exactly like all of my powdered donuts. So I'm like, well, why not now?
Right.
Why not
Enjoy
now?
it,
Because
embrace
then
it.
because then one day I'll be like, damn it, I wish I grew it out super long. But I'm
Well,
doing
now
that
you're making
now.
me regret that I cut my long hair off.
Well, you can always grow it back, Con. That's a fact.
It took me like almost 2 years to get
Same,
to
man.
that.
Same.
It's crazy. Like when they're maybe like this long, it looks so ugly.
Yeah, you gotta go through like the weird
Yes,
phases. You gotta go through like the really odd look.
Yeah,
Where you
there are
just put
so
on like
many
a hat
weird
because you're like,
phases.
this looks so bad.
Yeah.
So, Con, you look like the type of guy that would like to party. So am I at all correct there?
Yeah, that's correct. I just had a crazy weekend, let's say it like that.
This leads into our next
Yeah.
two questions so perfectly. So perfectly.
All right.
So our next question is, what is your favorite alcoholic beverage?
Moscow Mule.
Ooh, that's
A
a
Moscow
good
Mule
choice.
is good.
So do you usually go for more mixed drinks or like beers?
It. I always start with beers, and yeah, most often it goes to the mixed drinks, and
And then it just
But
goes
maybe-
downhill
but
after
there are
that.
evenings.
Yeah, then
Because beers,
then
then
it's
mixed
like
drinks,
10
then
shots
like
of
shots, and
vodka,
When
tequila.
when I actually go partying, yeah, then it's mixed drinks. When I just go out with the boys to some bar, then yeah, it's beer is enough. But yeah, when I'm partying, then it's
Right. You got to be
it's
efficient.
Moscow Mule. Yeah, yeah.
So with me, like I'm usually a beer guy, not a big like shots fan. Tequila sucks, vodka sucks, whiskey, bourbon
Whoa.
sucks.
Well,
Yeah.
you can talk bad about
Yeah.
tequila.
What's
you can
left?
talk bad about tequila. Just don't talk bad about vodka. Vodka's good.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
see,
what do you
they-
drink besides beer?
So like beer, wine.
I was
and
gonna say
mixed
wine.
drinks.
You probably drink wine.
Because I'm a very sophisticated man. Very sophisticated.
No, I kind of agree though. I normally drink like if I'm like kind of like concept like if I'm out like going to dinner with like some friends or like out the boys or something, I'll just drink like beer most of the time. But like if I do want to like drink and have like a really good time, I'll like probably drink vodka Red Bulls. But then like that just like that makes me feel like insane after a while.
Mixed
So then I'll
drinks.
just drink something else after I have like 3 or 4 of those. Because like the caffeine, it's
The
like the
thing with
caffeine.
vodka Bulls is
It's the caffeine and the alcohol. It
Yeah.
makes me feel like I'm like losing my mind. But they taste so good.
That or you feel like fucking Superman, so
Oh, yeah.
you're like, I can do all of these things. But then that leads into our next question,
God.
which is, do you have any funny drunk stories? So I have a couple, but I'll go last.
I can honestly tell you what happened to me on Sunday. It's 2 days
Fuck
ago.
yes.
So
Fuck yes.
yeah, so I was in Zurich with some friends, and we were at this rave, which was like somewhere on top of a hill. We had to walk like 30 minutes up there, and that's basically the last thing I remember, right? That I'm up there. And, on Sunday, just before lunchtime, I wake up and open my eyes, and I'm like, where the fuck am I? I was somewhere in a living room on the couch, but I was alone, and the door was closed, and he's like, where the fuck am I? I had no idea where I am.
Never seen the living room before.
I was alone, and no, never, no idea. It was silent in the whole apartment, and I was like, what the fuck? All right, well, let's just lay here and wait. Because yeah, I had literally no idea. I checked my phone, maybe find out what's going on. None of my friends replied. And yeah, like an hour later or so, a girl opens the door. It's like, hey,
Ooh.
you're up. Yeah, no, but you have to listen.
God.
Let him finish.
It sounds good now, but no. I asked her, well, where am I? What's going on? And she was like, oh, well, we found you at like 4 a.m, somewhere on the street. You were just walking around and couldn't find your way home. I couldn't remember any of it. And then it turned out that was an apartment of 3 women, and I slept alone on the couch.
Nice, man. But
Down, no, not nice.
see,
It's horrible.
see, but it's better than sleeping with one of them that you would then regret tremendously.
Yeah.
So maybe
We're all nice guys.
That's
and
right. That's right.
You don't do stuff like that.
yeah. Yeah, so it's like something like that. That maybe it's not the best case scenario, but it's definitely not the worst case scenario.
It's definitely not the work. Like, I could have been found by some pedophile or murderer or something.
Like tripped
yep.
and fell
You
down
could
a
have been
storm
found
drain.
by me. You could have been found by me. So
Well, no, and then they made me breakfast, and
yeah.
It's a good story. It makes a good story.
pretty good. Yeah, it did make a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tyler,
That's
do
one story.
you have any?
Yeah, I have a couple. Probably like the the most drunk I've ever been is I went to like a Halloween, like I don't know, like every country celebrates Halloween. We have like weird thing, like everyone when it's Halloween here, like I don't know, I only just go, like the biggest parties I ever know are always on Halloween for some reason. Everyone like dresses up and has a big time.
That's American.
Yeah, it's very American. But we went to a house party. So I'm 24 now, and I was maybe 19. I lived with my oldest brother and our other friend they're both like 4 or 5 years older than me, and we went to a Halloween party, and all I remember was this girl. At the party, everyone was like taking shots and like playing games and stuff, and then I just remember this girl pulling this like clear jar out of her purse, like her bag, and it was like some like homemade alcohol or something that they had made, or I don't know where she got it, but she was like, "Do you guys want
Never
some?"
good,
And I was
man.
like, "Yeah."
Never good.
And then that's all and then I remember waking up in the car at like 2 a.m. and our roommate was driving me home. He actually had food poisoning, so he was like throwing up the whole time because he ate something bad that day. So he's like driving me home. My brother stayed with some other friends, like, so he just like told him to take me home and leave me. So I just remember getting home or waking up in the car, and then the next thing I know, I woke up and it was like 5 a.m. and I was asleep on the toilet in like the bathroom in my house, like sleeping with my head on top of the toilet seat.
So he drove you home while he had.
Yeah,
food
and I
poisoning.
remember like kind of.
Yeah, you owe this guy
Yeah,
for
so I
life.
remember kind of waking up in the car like a couple of times and like going back to sleep, waking up, and then all I remember is us getting home in our house. It was you have to kind of like go down like 5 like steps or like cement, and then you had to go up like 3 more to get in the house. It was like a townhome. And I remember like barely being able to walk, and I'm like trying to like make my way down, and he just opens the car and just like goes in because he's sick, so he just leaves me outside. So I'm like trying to stumble my way down to the house just to make it inside. So that was probably
Jesus,
the most I've
man.
ever drank. Most of the time I can at least like remember some stuff, but yeah, that was a bad time.
Jeez. So I have 2. So I'll tell the lesser one first. So back when I was in college, I lived in a very tiny dorm with a roommate, and both him and we ended up rushing the same fraternity, which is a good beginning to a drunk tale.
Yeah.
But so one time we like did a little get together party, like that was like for the fraternity. So we had burgers. So somebody bought lettuce. Turns out it was cabbage. So being a poor college kid, I'm like, sure, we can take it back. So that night we went out. I got super drunk. Probably doing shots, beers, cocaine, drugs, hookers, prostitutes. No drugs, no prostitutes. Not yet. Saving all of that for CNFT Con. But so somebody drives me home, and we get in, and I'm like super drunk, and I'm like looking for food. So the only thing we have there is cabbage. So I ended up eating a whole cabbage.
Just like you didn't cook it or anything, you just ate it like you just ate it right out of the fridge.
No. Because this was like 2 or 3 years ago, I remember sending a snap like to my fraternity that was like, well, boys, this is all we've got. So I ended up eating a whole ass cabbage. But my next one also involves being in a fraternity where...
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm a crazy American, apparently. But we...
Every American is crazy, but go on.
Valid. We ended up doing our family night, which is when we got initiated to a certain part of the fraternity. So I'm already in it, but I'm being put in a group to like bond more. So what they have us do, and first off, I'm not supposed to tell y'all because it's code, but I don't give a shit. So I'm a bad boy. So to join this family, they have me take 7 shots of Kentucky's finest, like whiskey, which back then I'm kind of a lightweight even, and now I'm kind of a lightweight. So I take like 5 shots, then I'm like, oh. Then I take 2 more because I need to get all 7 founding fathers. So I get all
weird,
7
dude.
founding fathers, and
Yeah.
they're so weird, man. Then they give me a glass that is like half Coke, half a whiskey. So I'm just like sipping on it, hating my life. So I'm doing that, and by now I'm like blasted, and
obviously.
there is more to this, but I'll save that for later on. But what I ended up doing is, because I'm getting like super hot, because I just drank like 7 shots of whiskey, and now I'm sipping on a whiskey Coke. So I get up and I walk over to the door, and it's one of those doors that's got a massive window, but
Yeah.
but it's a wood door. So I end up walking over there, and I end up punching a hole through the window. With my hands and with my head, I punch a hole through a window. So
Why?
Because he was hot and wanted to go
because I'm
outside.
blasted, and yes, that ended. There were no ladies in there, so I'm like, this is so boring. It's such a fucking sausage fest.
I need to break this window.
Yeah,
Like Superman, straight through the window.
That will attract them.
but now the only thing I have left of that is a tiny, like, cut.
Your camera's like super fuzzy.
You can't even see it.
Yeah, I can't see it anyway. 'Cause whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that is the only thing that's left of the time I punched a hole through a window, because there were no babes.
And did it attract some woman? Like, did they
No,
came afterwards?
no,
Did they hear the
no.
story of that crazy man who just jumped through a window?
Women love crazy guys. They love douchebags and crazy guys. So
Not financial advice.
So
NFA.
I am one of those two. You can pick.
You're both.
That's right.
Fair.
Okay. Awesome.
Fair.
Awesome.
So the next question kind of goes back to CNFTs. And what do you think is the most important thing that every CNFT project needs to succeed?
Community. Easy.
But how do you build that community?
Well, it's tough. You either like do what Melons did with that exclusivity and kind of get to want people to be able to join you, right? So that creates hype, and hype in result creates a good, not a good community, but it brings people together, right? You still have to build the community itself. But how do you actually build a community? I think what's always good to bring people together is similar interests, right? If you have similar interests, you always have something to talk about. So for Onboard, for example, we do lots about art. Our Discord is built around art itself, so that we kind of have this community that is around art. And we always show what's important to us as a project, and that we attract people and community members that share the same values, which then builds a community. Other than that, obviously, like constantly interacting with your community
Yeah.
makes them a part of the project and the project part of the community. So, and that even strengthens the community again. Yeah, I think that community is the most important part about an NFT project, because a community shares stuff about the project. And if a project has literally no one sharing stuff on Twitter, yeah, you know where the project heads to.
Kind of going off of that, like I feel like in a way you need both the quantity and quality. Like yes, you can like post an engagement farming tweets, but you also do need to kind of elevate the community, make them different than the goats, the Kongs, like all of the big projects that are known for community.
Yeah.
So I feel like you could have a super ugly piece, but if you have the best fucking community and you are 10 times more active than the Kongs are, the goats are, and those times that you are active, you are posting like better things than the goats and the Kongs.
Yeah.
Then
Exactly.
that is the way that you become the next big blue chip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree, and I think like to y'all's point, I think that like I would agree the community is probably like the most important thing, and I also think that like something that probably a lot of people don't talk about is that I think that seeing like well respected and well like established CNFT members in like specific projects really does bring like a kind of, I don't want to know, not security. I can't really think of the word, but like when you see names that like you recognize,
Personality?
well, no, when you see names that you recognize in a lot of other projects, you know that they hold a lot of, other blue chips or whatever it might be. If you see them heavily involved with and buying into like a specific project, I don't want to say it's not like FOMO, but it's almost like you feel like, these people obviously know what they're doing. They invest in a lot of like good projects, so maybe I'm on the right track as well. So I think it's like community and also making sure that your community is incorporated with like a lot of people that, build trust, like, in the projects as well.
Yeah, that's what you always see. Like whenever the big guys, let's call them that, go in on a project, sales go up. That's just how it works. Like for us Onboard, we all of a sudden, like we didn't have the fastest mint, but all of a sudden, Fahaduken, Drams, Fettuccini, and CJ started minting, and there are even whales in our project. And as soon as they hit that whale status, and they were on the top right in our Discord, when everyone saw that these guys are whales of our project, suddenly everyone went ham. We didn't do anything different than before, but just because those guys were in, it finally started to pick up and made us sell out. And so that's definitely something people, even though they shouldn't, they do see it almost as a security and think, well, if all the rich guys are in it, they somehow got rich, so they know what they're doing.
Nope. So talking about that, I ended up FOMOing to Lucky Lions at the top.
He literally bought the very top.
Because a influencer kept on posting about it. So you should also do your research.
Yeah, no, you should do your research, but I think it's a combo.
Definitely.
I think it's a combo of like a lot of things, like community, like seeing like bigger names that you like respect around the community in there, and then also like I think the team and the community go hand in hand because the team like is part of the community. They're invested in the project just like you are. So yeah, I think like all of those things.
But regarding those lions, I have a story as well. So I was actually just on time. I minted like 20 of them for 38 or something.
Well, hopefully I gave you enough ADA, man.
No, listen to this, right?
Yeah.
That was, you remember back then it took like half an hour or 40 minutes to list something or buy something because of the blockchain congestion, whatever. So I was sitting on like 20 of those and the floor was exploding and I could list 2 per hour. So and in the end I was able to sell like 10 or 12. And before I was able to list
the blockchain rugged you.
But before I was able to list the other 8 or 10 or whatever it was, the floor was back at like mint or something.
That was a tough time like for like those like what was it like a month where like the blockchain congestion was just so bad.
Yeah. And especially like for those lines, the floor went, let's say, to 60. I listed for 60. By the time it actually is listed, the floor is at 100.
Yeah, because you could see in the activity
You're like-
there was
you-
like
you-
30 in progress because it was taking so long to clear.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and I remember, like, because I minted Onboard, and I remember everybody being, like, super concerned about, like, the blockchain congestion, because Introverts was minting, like, 2 hours right next to you guys, I think. And I remember everybody was super worried about, like, the congestion.
Well, they were meant to mint 2 hours before us, but then they had issues and had to delay their mint. So they launched at the exact same minute.
Yeah, the same time, yeah.
And then 1 hour later or something, the epoch changed as well. So it was
because I remember I
crazy,
minted
but then-
Onboard and Introverts, and I was at like a family party, so I was like on my laptop trying to like mint everything, and it was taking so long. So I would like go talk to people and come back and refresh, and then come back and refresh. If for at least an hour and a half, I was trying because I was trying so hard. I was like, sorry guys, don't mind me while I refresh my laptop.
true.
That's right. That's right. Okay.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Where are we at?
So it's Tyler.
I'm trying to see.
You
keep distracting me. The whole time that we're over here talking, I can see out of the corner of my eye, we have a Google Doc up with questions, and I can see Mitch moving stuff around, and like I can see his cursor like backing and forth, and it's like.
So I'm making it make sense.
It's throwing me off.
You guys are
It's throwing me
welcome.
off. All right, let's see.
Thank you. Thank you.
Outside of the NFT space, what type of hobbies do you enjoy? Like IRL stuff?
I read.
Yeah, we love
Hello?
reading.
Boo, reading.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
it's
I
you,
like to
right,
read. Yeah.
I read, even though I recently don't really have too much time. Used to watch much Netflix, not anymore. What else do I do? Yeah, the weekends I make sure that I go out at least once a weekend.
Mhm.
And yeah, but honestly, recently, next to my 9 to 5 job, onboards, CNFTs in general, there's barely any time. Like right now, it's 20 past 11. And I still need to eat dinner.
Oh shit,
Sorry,
man.
we'll go quickly.
Yeah, there's no time for reading anymore
That's right. Yeah,
nowadays.
you work from home, right? Like
But-
your IRL job, like you work from home.
Yeah, mostly. I go to the office once a week, maybe.
Okay, that's
But
what
the
I
rest
tried to
I
explain to
work from
Mitch, because Mitch is always like, every time on the weekend you're always like, because we'll be trying to like plan stuff for the pod, like or for the beginning of the week, and he's like you're always like drunk at the bar, and I'm like, well, I work from home, and then like after like I'm always home, so like on the weekend, like you said, like I want to go out and like go do something with my friends,
Yeah,
go drink at the
exactly.
bar, like I want to go do something because I literally work from home. I'm home all day, all the time.
Same, man. Same. So I live a very weird life. Like because I am 23, but I don't go out. I don't party. I don't do that. I drive Uber. I make NFTs, and then I play video games on Twitch.
And you have the worst
But-
sleep schedule of anybody I
You-
know.
Yeah,
He stays
yes,
up
I do.
until like
You stream on Twitch.
Yeah, so I just began it like last week, but I'm doing my best to build a brand. So I'm gonna do something kind of similar to Thor, but
Yeah.
make it more so personality based than just just NFTs.
Yes.
Awesome.
Like get more people gaming and more people kind of building that community. But I'm kind of just like currently learning it now.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I've been doing that every night, which I need to quit doing. I should aim to do it at like 7 p.m. American time, my time, CST.
Yeah, Stutter'll text me. Stutter'll
Time zones
text
are
me at like
confusing,
5
man.
a.m. about something. And I'm like, dude, I'm sleeping. Like, why are you still awake? He
I'm sorry,
he
I'm
goes
a
to bed when the sun comes
Broken
up.
human.
He's like, he'll text me about
So I'm
something.
a broken man. But that's because of my job. So I can do it whenever because it is Uber.
Yeah.
So like usually I'll get out of bed at like noon or 1, and then I'll go Uber from 2 to 10, and then I'll come home, get on my computer, play some games, and then I send Tyler over here a DM at 5 a.m. because that's when the best ideas come up.
and I'm sleeping.
Yeah, but
But that's the same for me. Like the best ideas is like early in the morning,
Oh yeah, me too.
late evening.
yeah.
Yeah,
You're drinking a cup of coffee first
during
thing
the
in the
day and
morning. I'm
like
like, yes, this is the best time to get something going.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah,
agree. And I think
same.
we talked about, Mitch, I think in last episode we talked about like our hobbies outside the space, so we probably don't have to like reiterate that.
So I sing, and Tyler's getting
Yeah,
married.
I'm getting
Those are our
married, and I like to
hobbies.
read, but I don't really have a lot of time to do that because wedding stuff.
When are you getting married?
October 22nd, so like 2.5 months.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you going to CNFT Con?
No,
maybe.
no. I literally have
Maybe.
I have no money to do that.
Maybe.
Well, you're also close. Like Mitch, you could drive if you wanted to.
To Las
I mean,
Vegas,
technically, because
I'll
you're in Texas,
look
you
it
can
up.
just drive. I live on the East Coast, and Vegas is very close to the West Coast. It's,
Oh,
it's like thousands
yeah.
of miles.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
have to fly, get like a hotel. Like it's just gonna be a lot.
My mom is a flight
Yeah, so he
attendant,
flies
so
for
I fly
free. So like
Dude,
it's not even fair.
that is 18 hours.
What to drive? Oh yeah, I forget you live
To
on
a
you live on
drive
the other
there.
side of Texas. Never mind, Texas is too big.
Yeah, but that's a
So-
nice road trip. Do it.
That's a long.
You get to drive through
road
Austin.
trip.
You could go see Banjo.
No, dude, Banjo is
Okay,
south.
let me stop talking like I know Texas. I don't
South
know
Texas.
anything
I'm
about
in North Texas, man.
Okay.
But
Anyways, what is your first memory ever?
Ooh, that's a very good question.
so if you need time to think, I can go first.
No, well, it's hard to. Yeah, you go first. You go first.
So my 4th birthday party, we went to the zoo, and I remember being on that like train at the zoo. So that's probably my first like memory. Like I think I had a tiny like kid hammer, so that was pretty pog. But yeah, that's
You were 4 years old and you had a hammer.
yes.
It's like a little, like, toy hammer
So
that
it's
you
a
at the zoo.
kid
I
hammer.
thought that's an American thing. Like, you're 4 years
you're
old.
not-
you
yeah,
can't
you're
have a
not
gun
ready-
Yet,
you're
but
not ready-
here's a hammer.
Yeah, you get a gun at 5, a hammer at 4.
Yeah, man. But that's probably my first memory. I'm trying to think of another early memory. I remember one Halloween because I was a Green Power Ranger and my friend was a firefighter. So it's pretty ironic that we began fighting. And then he, with his plastic axe, he cut open my lip. So I remember that too.
And you punched him with the hammer.
No, because I'm not a violent person. I said, wow, you should feel terrible. And
Well,
he probably felt even worse because I didn't retaliate. So,
well, for me, I think it's actually a bad memory.
oh shit.
Like when I was between 3 or 4
better.
years old. Yeah, before I was 4 years old, I was 3, I think. The door of the oven in the kitchen was down, right? And I ran around the corner and ran right into the oven, and that's where this mark is from.
Oh, really? You
Here.
just like you
Yeah,
split your
man.
eyebrow open.
Alright. Yeah.
That's
That
badass
happened when I
though.
was 3 years old, and that was at the old place where we lived, and I think it's basically the only memory I even have of that place, so it must be this one. Yeah, but now that I
Yeah.
think about it, it's pretty sad that my first memory is a bad one.
I think no, I'm with you.
Explain
I think
some stuff.
my first memory was a bad memory.
Tell us.
Like I remember being probably like 3 or 4, and it had just snowed, and like where I'm like, so I went to university in the mountains, and it snows all the time. But like where I'm from, like it barely, like it snows sometimes. Like we might get like an inch or 2, and then but like the next day it's like 65 degrees Fahrenheit, so it just melts anyway. So like it barely snows.
Yeah.
And I remember it had just snowed, and like the stairs up to my house were like really icy, and it was like maybe we had like a pretty big stairwell. It's probably like maybe like 8 to 10 steps to get up to the front door, like the porch. And my older brother was like walking down the steps with me, and like it was like really icy. And I went to grab the rail, and he just like pushed me out of the way and grabbed it first. And I remember falling all the way down the stairs, like on my butt, like da 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 da. And then I just like slammed into the ground. And I remember being so angry because he, instead of like helping me, his little brother down, he just grabbed the rail, and I just slid all the way down the stairs. That was my first memory.
That is such a big brother thing.
Yeah.
No. I am a big brother.
Oh,
I have
you
a
are?
smaller brother, and that's usually what the smaller brothers do.
Oh really? See, I'm also the small brother. So I have 2 older brothers, and I always would they would always like pick on me, and then I would tell my mom, and then they would get in trouble all the time. Like I always would tell them. Even if they didn't do anything, even if I thought they were being mean to me, I would tell on them and get them in trouble.
And mothers somehow always believe the younger ones.
Mm.
Like as the older guy,
Yeah.
she never believed me because I was stronger. And
Because we are so innocent.
That's right.
We are their little angel. Yeah.
you're just no, you're not.
So I've got a big sister, but she's a bit of a tomboy. Like she played professional soccer or football.
Oh, nice.
So things like that. She actually played kind of near where you are. She played over in Iceland. Yeah. So
I love Iceland. I want to go there next year.
I've been there 2 times, and you should. That is a for sure place
Oh.
you should go.
I
But
will.
then our next question is, what is the worst date that you have ever been on? Con.
Worst date.
Worst date.
Yeah, I have a story. So it was a date actually, and we met. Where did we even met? Somewhere at a mall or something. And we grabbed the coffee, and then we got up, and we wanted to go some shopping. And she wore white trousers, right?
Ooh, no.
Yes. Then there was some red color in the middle of those trousers.
Oh, poor girl.
Poor
Yeah, I
girl.
felt so sorry for her. Like worst possible moment to get her period, but yeah, obviously, just kind of over at this point.
Yeah.
It's like, how do we recover from this on the first date, right?
The fact that you are so suave that your first date, like your bad date, isn't even about you, means so much to your character.
Yeah,
Because my first date, so this was my junior year girlfriend back in high school. But we went to the Dallas Zoo, which is in kind of a bad area. So we go there, and then we are passing the toll booth.
so like in the
And-
hood, all right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
kind of in the Dallas ghetto, but so we are going past the toll booth, and I hit my mirror, like my side mirror, on the toll booth. so we get in there, and I'm like, oh shit,
Wait.
what am I gonna do? Because it's just dangling there, going
Yeah.
like that. So because I'm a super optimistic person, I say, don't worry about it. We can fix it after. Maybe we might come back, and it might just be back on. Never know. So we go in for about 2 to
Just
3
randomly
hours.
back on.
Yeah, never know, man. Dallas is a
Never.
fucking weird place. We are in America, so you never know. But we go in, we look at penguins, we look at deer, we look at monkeys, we look at ducks.
So like
So
watching through your NFT wallet.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
like IRL
yes.
NFTs.
that's yes.
Wow.
So and then we come back, and I'm like, oh shit. So I can't avoid this anymore because I'm a 15-year-old kid that just 16 because it was illegal. 16-year-old kid that has never driven down to Dallas, and now my mirror's just dangling on there like a limp dick. So what I do is I go like maybe a mile to this ghetto gas station, and they have some like shitty ass duct tape there. But I'm not in a good area, so I'm like, let's go somewhere else. So I go to a better area, and then I'm like beginning to do it, and it's not working at all. So this homeless man comes over, and he's like, "Do you need any help?" And I'm like, I kind of do. So
is she just sitting in the car? Is she just in the car the whole time?
Wait.
Yeah.
So I'll get to that. So and then he begins doing it, and he's doing it like a goddamn architect. Like this is his Mona Lisa.
The duct tape god.
Yeah, literally, like out of all the homeless man that I could have got, I think I got the best one. But then so I say thank you because he kind of like fixes it. So I get back in my car, and he's like,
Please tell me you gave him some money.
So I didn't have any money.
You're such an asshole.
Because I was 16. Do I give him my fucking debit card?
Yes.
Whatever happened to just being a nice person?
You should have gave him your shoes
Whatever
off
happened?
your feet. You should have took your shoes off and gave him
You met a homeless person that's the god of duct tape
I didn't
who
have
fixed
any
your
money.
broken car, and you gave him nothing.
Because I didn't have anything. I had a...
Could have given him your car.
So I should have given him my
Did you give him the
girlfriend,
tape?
because then... Wait. Because then when I got back in my car, my girlfriend at the time, she was sleeping.
She was just sleeping the whole time he was fixing it?
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm dealing with all of this nonsense of this homeless man, where she could have like helped me out or done something, but she's just in my car sleeping. Yeah, that
Homeless
was
people
bad.
before girlfriends.
That's right.
Yeah,
Moral of the story.
Yeah.
and then I have another one that happened last weekend.
Break the other
Yeah.
one.
No.
The
But
duct tape fell off.
yeah,
Finally
so it
fell off.
finally dropped off and just began being limp like a dick. But no, so because I did theater from like age 10 to age like 19, like I've always loved theater and singing and opera and things like that. So I matched up with a girl on Bumble.
Ooh,
And
I have
she's-
Bumble as well since recently.
Well, maybe I might match up with you.
Yeah, I'll swipe right.
You just
Never
gotta
know,
make
man.
you gotta make your area just the whole globe, and then you might find Con one day.
So
Wow,
I
good
only
news.
want to match up with people in Switzerland. But
Yeah.
but going on, so we go on a date to some like Texas steakhouse, and we are eating. She's a karate black belt. We have nothing in common at all. She goes outside. I don't go outside. So and then, but we were planning on going to see SpongeBob the musical, which would be a fun first date because it's just a fun show.
Steakhouse and then SpongeBob musical.
Yeah, so it
Alright.
sounds like a fucking play date, but we go over there. Turns out I bought tickets for next week. So this coming week. So if anybody's in Dallas, Texas, and wants to go see SpongeBob the musical, come, please.
That's
but
so funny.
then
She won't join you again?
so I kind of don't want to do it again because she's very. We just didn't match up.
He was gonna say she was boring, and then he stopped himself.
But I am also a very, very exciting person, very excited person over everything, anything.
Look, you
So-
still have like 3 days to swipe the shit out of Bumble, match up with someone,
Yeah,
and get that girl to watch SpongeBob with you.
Yeah, that's the plan.
that's kind of the
So,
plan, man.
as soon as you turn off the podcast, you know what to do. All right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Go get it.
Yes, sir. You are not only a CNFT connoisseur, but you are also a dating connoisseur, and I love that. Fuck
I'm
yeah.
still single, so don't know
it-
about that. But
take
but that doesn't mean that you aren't bad at getting dates and going on dates and doing shit like that, man.
Right.
True.
True.
Tyler, do you have any bad dates?
I probably do. I like the first one that comes to mind isn't even like nothing really that bad happened. It was just super annoying. Like I hated it the whole time. So that's like the first thing that ever came to mind when you like put that question. I remember I was probably like 15, like you were saying, like you were 15 or 16. I was probably like 15 or 16 in high school. I was like a freshman or like a sophomore in high school, and I went on this date with this girl. My girlfriend at the time, and we went on a Segway tour. Have you like a Segway like the mall?
wait,
cops
she
ride?
was your girlfriend.
Yeah. At the time.
She was your girlfriend.
At the time.
And she was annoying.
No, it wasn't even her. It was the whole experience. Like the whole experience was annoying. So you know, like a Segway is like the mall cops ride it. You stand on it, like
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
So there was a place in my city. I live in the capital of my state, and there's so it's a pretty big city. And I've lived here my whole life, but there's like this place you get to ride around on one, and it's like it shows you like all like the historical places like in the city and stuff. So I was like, oh, that'll be fun. So we booked it like a couple of weeks out, and then it was in December though. But like if you're from North Carolina, like December, some days it'll be like freezing outside, like the ground will be frozen, and the next day I'll wear shorts because it's so hot outside. So like it's literally like hit or miss.
Same, man.
But the day we were supposed to go on it, they sent us an email like we might cancel it because it's gonna like it's gonna rain, it's gonna freeze tomorrow, so like the ground's gonna be frozen, people are gonna be like on the little things, it's gonna be slippery. But then they were like, nah, like we're gonna do it anyway. So I went, and it was like bitterly cold. It was super windy. The ground was like frozen. So like the whole time, like the thing was like sliding around while I was trying to drive it around, like through like these little small like streets and downtown like alleyways. This one dude, like we went past, we were in this like historical site, and then like the little paths were like really skinny, and there was this big like pool of water that had frozen up from the rain. So it was like this big like icy spot. And like the person that was like leading the tour was like, everyone make sure you go to the left of it, like don't run into it. And the dude behind me was like, he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna see what happens. Like I could hear him telling, like he's behind me, and he's like, dude, I'm gonna go through it. And I was like, I wouldn't do that. And he goes through it, and the whole machine like slides out from under him, and he just like hits his face on the concrete. But so like his day was worse than mine, but the whole time I was miserable. Like I was cold. It wasn't fun at all, and I just wanted to go home because I was so cold. My hands, I couldn't feel my hands because I didn't have any gloves because I just forgot. So I'm holding onto this thing. It's literally like the ground's frozen and it's windy, so my knuckles are like red, like super red.
Oh,
'cause
yeah,
my
yeah,
hands
yeah.
are cold.
Mhm.
So
Jesus,
when you
man.
put that question, that was like the first thing I thought of. I remember hating my life that whole day. I hated it so much.
Did you know that the inventor of the Segway died on a Segway?
No,
have to
I
think
didn't.
about that.
It was the only time I've ever been on one, so I probably won't ever be on one again.
Yeah, the inventor of those, like exactly the same thing. He just crashed on a Segway and died.
That's crazy.
Like
That
imagine
does
inventing
kind of
something
make
and
sense, though.
dying because of it.
Yeah.
Tyler,
Like GG.
can you talk a bit louder or turn your mic up
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
tiny bit? Thanks, bud.
Yeah.
So that was a fun question. So kind of going back to CNFT, because you are the connoisseur, who is the best account to follow in in the CNFT ecosystem?
One account in the whole ecosystem.
Me. Stutter boy. I'm fantastic at shit posting. If you need a shitty Twitter to follow, then follow me. It is
That
Stutterboy
is true.
CNFT.
Like, your shit posts are pretty damn good.
Yeah.
But if I have to choose one account,
Don't follow me. Please no.
follow
I'd
Stutterboy 69.
hate that. I'd hate
But
that.
if you only want to follow one account, then follow Soup Dog. Do you guys know Soup Dog?
I don't.
So I've heard of his name a couple times. I've heard his name a couple of
I've
times.
seen him like
Isn't
on
he
my
that dude
DL, but
that
I don't really.
smokes weed. Why do you say him?
He's the funniest account out there, honestly. He's a must follow. He's a must follow. I still don't know what the account is. Is it a meme page? Is it an actual guy? Is it? I have no idea, and that's what's funny about it.
Yeah.
I think it's the smartest guy. It's not one of the smartest guys in the space who pretends to be memeing so that he can pretend to be smart. I don't know how to explain it, but he's a genius. Soup Dog 420 or something. He's brilliant. Follow him.
So is that guy actually Snoop D-O-double-G?
Here, his at is SOUPDOG 420.
1 second, I'm going on Twitter.
I am too, but my PC's my MacBook is struggling. Oh, wait! Now I feel so bad because they follow me and I don't follow them. But let me follow them now.
Oh man, he didn't tweet in like a week. Oh, that's too bad.
Okay, I'm gonna say like just right off the bat, the first person that I think like their tweets are both like that hits all the points. Like their tweets are like hella funny most of the time, but also like they just tweet random shit, but also like argue with people on Twitter sometimes. Like all of the good things that like I want to watch on Twitter unfold. I would say that like up there in the top echelon of those people is Koof. Koof's Twitter is so funny to me. Like he'll tweet like he'll be like I just hit the gym, and then the next thing is like he's just arguing back and forth with some dude for like 10 minutes straight. Yeah, it's so good. Like I love the like.
KDEF is the same.
Yeah. KDEF. Yeah, KDEF is the same. Yeah, I don't know. His Twitter's just so funny because it's like I'll like log on and never know what he's going to be tweeting about.
That's true. Yeah, but I have to. That thing I said about Soup Dog, that you have to follow him. Sadly, he doesn't seem too active anymore. Not sure if it's worth following him anymore.
So in this case, just follow Stutterboy69.
Let's just go with Stutterboy.
Stutterboy CNFT.
Oh, he's changed it up. Sorry, CNFT.
So I'm changing my branding. I'm no longer a immature little 22-year-old. I am 23 and I'm a big boy now. So follow me on Twitter if you do like me shit posting. But if you don't, then don't. But for me, so I'd probably say Cardano Thor. Like, just because it's so much more than actually just being tweets, like fighting with people. Because he does post tweets, he does have a newsletter. He does do interviews every week. So things like that is what you actually need. Yes, there are some good YouTubers out there. There are also some bad YouTubers out there. But my favorite would probably be Cardano Thor. We will post these all down below.
Well, obviously, if I had to give a professional answer, I wouldn't have chosen Soup Dog 420. I thought it was more of a joke question. But
that's what I thought. I said Koof because this shit is funny. I said Koof because it's funny.
No joke questions, guys.
Okay. Serious pod only.
No serious questions, guys. I'm Damn it, I'm always serious, damn it.
We're trying to be professional here.
Yeah, this is a professional pod. How has the community changed since you first joined it back in like whenever you joined it? You said
The community
like how has it
changed in
changed?
terms of it got so much smaller.
Oh yeah.
So much smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, like September, October, November, December, I'd guess there were like 10, 20 times more people here. Let's be honest. I mean, if you're on Twitter nowadays, you see the same 10, 15 people,
Yeah.
right? It's like you have a small circle nowadays. Yeah, that's what changed. And other than that, I think there was a short term where people where you could feel that people are sad and stressed because of the market prices,
Yeah.
like 1 or 2 months ago. But nowadays, I think everyone is just memeing about it and
Yeah.
accepting that.
Yeah, I think the people that
Everything is
the
worthless.
people that did stay around, they're mostly just like fuck it, like we'll just
Yeah.
we'll make it together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I like so like my experience is weird because I like joined the space like right at the end of December, so I feel like I caught like the tail end of everybody being happy, and then now like the whole time
Yeah.
I've been in the space, it's just been like just a steady downturn. Like everyone's mad. That was
Yeah.
like, but I don't know.
Because it's so easy to be in negative currently. Because what used to be our way to get away from the negativity is pretty negative in the red. So it's so easy to hate life. It's so easy to hate Cardano. It's so easy to hate all of these NFTs. But then whenever it gets better, then it'll do the same thing again, and we will be so much better off. Con, you said that you are not a OG. Well, so after this bear market, you, me, and also Tyler, we will all be OGs. So
Yeah, that's
so
for
it's-
sure. Yeah.
things like that, like, yes, it is super negative, but we are getting the discounts of a fucking lifetime.
Yeah. If I could just somehow keep them
so-
in my wallet and not
NFA.
keep buying PFPs.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
NFA.
NFA.
Not
I'm
not
with you,
financial
obviously.
advice, but you look at every market and it's all down, and it does this every
Degen advice. Bye.
2 to
Just-
5 years. So, not financial advice, but if this is not financial advice, then we as a society will fail. And I don't think we are that close to failing yet.
Well, even
The
like
Degen Report said it first.
that's right. Well, it's like to me, even though like no
Scientists
matter
gonna
how
say.
like low like Cardano goes, at the end of the day, like I think that the people that like I've like have surrounded myself with in the community always like make things like a good time. Like it's always good to like log on and like shoot the
Yeah.
shit with people. And like IRL, like I feel like the world is just kind of fucked at the moment. Like everything's
Yeah.
expensive. Like people are fighting in wars. Like everything's just fucked. So I'm like,
Yeah, like
yeah.
in real life, you watch the news or whatever, and you see dozens upon dozens of shit shows
yeah.
going on, right?
Right.
And then you go into the NFT or crypto scene, and all right, crypto is either down or up, or but that's about it. And the rest is just vibes, people enjoying their times together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is partly why we're doing this, because we kind of want to put a fire back into the community.
Yeah. Exactly.
Are you typing on your Google sheet again?
No,
Distracted Tyler.
it's Tyler's cam went down.
Wait,
but
Colin,
I
can you see me?
think it's back up. Yeah.
I can see her.
Okay. I don't know if my
So-
internet rugged
so-
for a second. My bad.
No worries, dude. But doing things like what Cardano Thor is doing things like what these others, like what these other YouTubers are doing, or what we're doing, or the Freedom 35ers podcast is doing. This is what's going to bring people back into Cardano. So
Yeah.
then
Definitely.
then they'll find all of these projects and they'll mint everything like we always do because we are all degens.
That's right.
So the next question is, what is the best way to die? And then on the opposite, what is the worst way to die?
All right. So the best way to die is just in a way where people in the future are always going to say, "Remember that fucking legend? How that guy died? Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that." So maybe I don't know. Um, I always thought, you know, how there's these guys that jump out of the plane with the, how's that thing called?
A parachute.
Parachute? Or?
Yeah, parachute. Imagine you jump out of a plane and then a plane below you just flies into you.
Yeah.
That'd be
Like that would be
badass.
all over the news, right? That would,
Yeah.
like imagine the chances.
And
like
it wouldn't hurt.
a
Like
death
you wouldn't
this,
feel anything. It would literally
Yeah,
it would like
yeah.
evaporate you. It would,
You're gone.
it would kill you so fast.
I mean, you'd be enjoying yourself, right?
Right.
You're flying and poof, over. And all over the world, you're in the news. Like, look how bad luck this guy had.
Yeah.
He jumped out of a plane and the next plane just
Yeah.
shredded him to pieces. I think that would be a cool way to die.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
so that people remember me. It would be pretty boring to just go to sleep and not wake up. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you only die once,
Yeah.
right? So
But I
make
also
something
think
out
that's
of
like
it.
probably like the least like you wouldn't like be thinking about like that you're about to die, or like you wouldn't feel anything like if you just go to sleep and then like you just
Yeah,
don't wake
so
up. It's
the
just
first-
like you just do what you normally do and you just don't wake up. I feel like that's good.
Yeah, like the worst way to die for me would be drowning or
Yes.
suffocating.
Yes.
That I can't imagine the horrors of
Yes.
drowning.
So
Like,
So my fiance and I, we always have like this argument. We'll ask all of our friends like when we go out and stuff because I want to ask everybody. But we always say, what's the worst way to die? Like drowning or like a plane crash. So like her logic is always that like you're up in a plane and it's just like falling like slowly technically. So like the whole time you know like, oh, I'm gonna die. Like I'm just sitting here, but I'm gonna die in a minute. And then like or like drowning. And she thinks that like the idea of like knowing that you're gonna die is way worse than the actual dying part. But my whole idea
Yeah.
is that like, but once I hit the ground, like I don't feel anything. We go kaboom and like I'm done, you know. But drowning, you are literally like your body, you are running out of
Yeah.
oxygen, like you are suffocating.
You
In
fucking
like
know.
that's awful.
you feel something. You're not just waiting, like in a plane. You're not
Yeah.
just sitting and waiting until you crash. You actually feel how you're drowning.
Yeah.
And I think when a plane crashes, like as soon as people actually realize that you're gonna crash, I think most often it's like dead silent in the plane.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
one's panicking or anything.
Yeah.
Because they're like, at this point you accepted it, I guess, I don't know. But yeah, with drowning it's, yeah, you feel how your lungs are filling themselves with water and you can't breathe, you're just, nah.
My
Yeah.
my answer might be very different, but people are always like, "Oh, I would love to die when I'm 90 years old," but
Fuck that.
but by then so many old people get like illnesses, whether that be Alzheimer's or like any of those other ones. So something more so like Alzheimer's or the other thing where your body just like gives out, but your brain is working. So I think the second one would be the worst way to die.
Like where your body stops working but your brain still works.
Yeah.
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 Because you know it's coming, so you can't say those things you want to say to the people you love because your body won't let you.
Yeah.
You can't do those things you could otherwise because your body won't let you. And you also do know that someday it'll get to your brain and you will die.
Yeah.
So that to me is the worst way of dying.
And what's your favorite way?
This might also sound bad and also very American of me, but I feel like being shot in the head. So it's so easy, it's so simple, and you just die, and
Yeah.
you would never know.
America, baby.
Yeah. Hell
American
yeah,
dream.
baby.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
All right.
Tyler.
Yeah, salute. All right, so we have 4 more gone and then we're done. Okay, so the next question is, do you think that we live in a simulation? This is like my pet project to ask people.
I fucking hope so. I hope so.
I think that, like, let me give you my reasoning and then I want to hear yours. So I think that, like, regardless of like any other thoughts that you might have, I think that we all kind of live in a simulation to begin with, because your brain is a very like predicting, like it's a very predicting organ. That's why when sometimes you are maybe walking around your house or something like that, you think you see something out of like the corner of your eye, but you turn and then there's nothing there. It's basically your brain sending like, to, the receptors that like, or you're like basically thinking that your eye saw something that it didn't see. Your brain, like, or if you wake up in the morning and you always look at the TV as soon as you wake up, because it's always on the wall in the same spot, if your brain just automatically knows that it's always there. So it just predicts to you that it's right there. But my thing is, like, what if the whole time your brain is just wrong? Like, the whole time, like, what I'm seeing isn't, like, really what my eyes are seeing, because my brain is telling me that it's something that it's not. Because all your brain does is predict what your eyes are sending it. But if it's predicting wrong, then your whole life you are seeing things, or like you are living around things that aren't real. You're just like, your brain is telling you that these things are happening, but they're not. So that's why that is my way. That is my way to say that everyone's life is somewhat of a simulation, because your brain is constantly just predicting your environment.
I just want it to be a simulation and hope that whoever's running it one day just gets bored and says, well, you know what, fuck it, let's have some fun on these last few days, and just causes chaos.
That'd be funny.
Fucks with the code.
Yeah. Which kind of began with like COVID. So if life is a simulation, then boy did he have a good ass time. Holy shit.
He adjusted some sliders, yeah.
So are you guys very religious?
No. Like I grew up and like I actually went to like a religious school, like from like 5 until I graduated high school. But like I'm not anymore. But like I grew up that way.
So I'm also not very religious, and I feel like because of that, it's much easier to say that we are currently living in a metaverse of some sort, because there's no reason to us that we should be here, but we are.
Yeah.
So it makes more sense, because we don't think it's God, that we'd think that it's
like some sort of like simulation.
Yeah.
I think it's like I think our brains are like just like weird. Like it's, I don't know. I don't want to fall down the rabbit hole, but
But
because Yannick, have you seen?
While he falls down the rabbit hole.
Have you seen the movie The Truman Show?
No, I still haven't seen it yet.
Okay, so like, but you know the premise. He basically grows up on a show his whole life, so like his whole surrounding is fake. But to him, my thing is like, to him, like, that's real. So like, what is like the if your whole life your surrounding was fake, to you it's not fake. To you it's real. So like, what if that's like that for everybody? Like everybody, it's real, but it's not. You know, it's fucked up. It keeps me up at night. I can't think about it.
Damn.
It's the type of stuff when you drink, smoke something, and then you're like, think about it.
Yeah, exactly. Night. You just lay there like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Alright.
So the next question is, what do you wish that you saw more out of these CNFT influencers?
Mm, honesty about not only their purchases, but also what they're selling.
Ooh.
Yeah, I would like to see that. Not that I request it or that I think it's not good, but they don't see it. I see the points of not showing it because, um, let's say the Rams, for example. I mean, if he buys a project, the floor goes up afterwards, right? Because people think, oh, they now have that security. Imagine if he says, I just sold an NFT of this and that project. Suddenly people would think, oh, I have to dump because
Yeah.
he sold an NFT, even though he maybe just sold it because he got a nice offer or something. So I do see the point of not showing it, but I'm just saying it would be very interesting to see
Yeah.
who is selling what when.
Yeah.
Not only when
Yeah.
are they entering a project. Yeah, would be interesting to see, but it's
Yeah.
not that I demand it to be
That's very
shown.
interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
So I wish that they kind of got the influencer lessons where that they shouldn't show too much of their opinion, which might sound bad, but there's a big difference in following somebody because you like their NFTs and then they gain a massive following and then and then it turns out that this person's not the person you think they are. Like
Yeah.
like I feel like it's very easy to build a audience on Cardano, but it's much harder to be a influencer. Because with being an influencer, you also need to know that thousands of people will be seeing the bullshit you put on there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I
like
think that's a bad thing. Often people get idolized based on their wealth,
yeah
on the amount of NFTs they have. And suddenly they maybe voice personal opinions or whatever, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden people just think, yeah, that's correct. His opinions are correct because we're idolizing these guys, or he's
Yeah.
always right. Even though like 10,000 people followed someone because he constantly buys cool stuff, and
Yeah.
just because he hasn't much money doesn't mean anything he's gonna tweet is gonna
Yeah.
be right.
Right. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's a big reason why you don't see celebrities like posting their political views, or if
Yeah.
you do, they tend to be more left leaning and more vague. But that's just because that's kind of where the media is now,
Yeah.
which is
Especially
fine.
social media. Yeah.
Which is fine, and I'm not saying you shouldn't voice your opinion, but you should remember that there will be a 50-50% that might love your take, but there also may be a 50% that may hate it.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to deal with that. So it's like, why say these things that
Yeah.
you wouldn't say to somebody that you just met, but you'd say it over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and to like both of y'all's
Totally
points,
agree.
like I think once you have like such a following like in this space, it kind of gives you an out to be able to kind of say like an opinion or anything that might like be kind of like out there, or you maybe say something
Yeah.
that's probably not correct. And then rather than like it like being me or someone else like that, you would have to basically, when people start like coming for you, you would have to explain why you believe that. People who have such a following, they can basically say what they want, and then like if people start trying to like argue with them in the comments or like in the replies of their tweet or whatever, basically you have your followers just arguing with them on your behalf. You know what I mean? Like you never have to
Yeah.
explain.
Yeah.
You never have to explain like why you said what you said, or like the thought behind like your idea or your opinion. Like it's just basically you say it, and then people start coming for you, and then all of your fans like just start yelling at them, and then like it basically like you get to
Yeah.
say what you want without having to like explain anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, I think like if I had to change anything, like about what I saw out of like influencers. I would just say that like I get like it's super funny, and like I also do it too when like dunking on like all the soul people or like whatever, like making fun of people or whatever. But also like in the same time, like I think if you have a big following, you should definitely try to like, no pun intended, but like onboard more people onto the Cardano chain. If you see that rather than dunking on all the people on like the Sol exploit where all their wallets were getting drained, like you could have like maybe dunked on them once and then been like, hey, like in all seriousness, like you guys should come like take a look at Cardano. If you want to set up a wallet, like I'm more than happy to help you do that. But like there's some people that kind of do both, and there's some people that just like dunk on them and then that's it. So I don't feel like that's gonna help like grow the chain or grow the community.
Which then makes them hate.
Which gives us
more,
gives us a bad rap. I agree. So I definitely would just say just being like more helpful, not dunking on people so much.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. The last two. If you had to go back in time at least 50 years, where would you go?
Which time period and where would you be?
So let's say if I go back like 200 years, am I still myself from today? So like, do I know about iPhones and stuff?
Yeah.
All right, so I would go back to the Neanderthals and completely fuck them over.
That was literally my answer.
I'd go back. They're cool with their fire.
Yeah,
they think they're cool with some fire they're making with stones. Yeah, look at this, you prick.
Same. I would go back and make fire first. Yeah, I'd go back to like the Neanderthals and I'd make fire first, and then I would be Neanderthal famous. They'd be like, that's the one that made the fire. I'd be like, let's fucking go. I got like a torch. I got a torch with some fire on it. Like, let's fucking go.
You'd be famous among like 10 people though.
But that would make it even better because everybody knows me because I made fire.
Yeah, you're gonna be in all textbooks, like the guy next to the first fire.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you go back like 20, you can't go back 20 years. So if you go back 50 years to the 70s and then you like predict like all of these like Super Bowl winnings or these like
I'd be rich.
These horse race winnings, and
that's
then
just Back to the Future, isn't it?
Yeah. Then in 2011, you buy a fuck ton of Bitcoin, and then you be sitting good.
Yeah.
I prefer to be the Neanderthal who invented fire.
Yeah, me too.
You kind of look like a Neanderthal right now.
Yeah, I look like Stone Age hooligan. Right?
Yes, you do.
All right, Mitch, you do our last question, and then we'll wrap up.
So, what would be your best advice for someone trying to grow a audience in the CNFT sphere?
To grow an audience?
Yes, to grow an audience.
Like, what do you mean in terms
like grow
of
like a following? Like how would you like what steps would you take in order to like grow a following and become like a bigger person in the CNFT space?
Yeah, so first of all, I'd recommend to just be yourself from the very beginning, because if you start faking stuff to like 100 followers, imagine how hard it's going to be to fake that personality to 10,000 or 100,000 followers. So just be yourself, it's easier. So, and people will know anyway if you're yourself or not. Second of all, like engage with everyone and whenever you can. Reply to all those tweets, make friendship. You never know who is gonna one day be the one guy who can help you out in a certain situation. Some random account on Twitter who DMs you with a question might be the guy who makes you $30,000 next year. Who knows?
You never know, man.
Treat everyone.
Or you could be like
with respect.
Yeah, you could be like Jake Shepard and like mint 750 Kongs. Maybe he has the Kong that you want.
Yeah.
Like he has all the cool Kongs, so you got to be like you're friends with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You continue.
Yeah, but yeah, engage wherever you can. Get yourself out there. Be yourself. And yeah, pro tip, just share NFTs and tag the project. Then they tag you and the whole community follows you.
Pro
Yep.
pro
So it's
farming
that
tip.
easy.
Pro
That's-
farming tip.
That is what Khan did. That is what I did.
Or you just
And
tweet.
look
Yeah,
at us
obviously.
now.
Or you just tweet something.
Look at us
super-
now on a goddamn podcast.
You just
Who
tweet something super
would've known?
controversial. Like when my most engaged with tweet by far was my tweet from 2 weeks ago, and I asked do dudes sit down when they pee? Because I do, and then everybody was in the comments arguing with each other, and it was the best. It was the best thing ever. I got so many followers.
It's beer market engagement, yeah.
That is
Thanks.
what the community needs, because we need to
Exactly.
be taken away from the shitty market from all these failing NFTs that people may say.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyways, Con, thank you for this fantastic interview.
Thank you guys for having me, man.
Yeah.
Really loved it.
We loved having you, and we will make sure to have you again soon. Perfect.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And as for everybody else, we hope that you guys also enjoyed this podcast, and also make sure that you join the giveaway, because this
Yeah.
FURBLE is fucking legit,
Yeah.
and it
Best
was
FURBLE ever.
sent over by the Connoisseur, so you could get a CNFT owned by the Connoisseur. So make sure to go and join that giveaway. Next episode, we should be having another fellow Swiss come on in and be our
Back-to-back
next
Swiss.
guest. That's
Ooh.
back-to-back
I
Swiss.
honestly don't know who that might be.
We can let you know after we
So-
stop recording. We got to give you the alpha.
Alright.
So
Yeah.
so all of the talent comes from Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically the Swiss report. We're taking over.
The Swiss
Yeah,
report.
yeah. Soon it'll be in Con, and next week's guest as the host.
That's right.
But anyways, guys, make sure you leave a like, make sure you comment, and you also give us a sub. And we will see you on the next episode of the Degen Report.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys. Bye.